Hi all my music friends. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and I've been thinking a lot about what to do next in our video sequences. So I think most of the remarks that I've gotten from subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. I have over 35,000 of you watching and learning to play the piano, which makes me very happy. I'm so happy that I can come into your lives and help you understand music and make it easy. So I've been using a lot of my adult students as kind of guinea pigs to try and figure out what to do next. And most of the comments that I get is, now I know the chords and I know all the basic rules, but I don't know what to do with my left hand. If you're playing on a keyboard, the keyboard in accompaniment mode will generally take care of that. You don't really need to do anything with your left hand. But you get to the point eventually where you want to sound more professional. You want to sound a little less like a beginner and more animated when you play. So I've come up with some easy steps and some exercises and things that you can do that are not boring, hopefully, and will help you to learn to use your left hand. But first, I really need you to understand the chords. To do this series, you really need to understand how chords are formed and how they're spelled, how major, minor, diminished, and augmented chords, and you don't really need to know where they go, but you really do need to understand how to play them and how to spell them. So I recommend my most popular book is the First Aid Chord Kit. It comes with a circle that you can explain on some of our other videos, and a two-set DVD. Now this set of DVDs is from my older classes, which I did in groups. But they do accompany this book, and this information is not available on my videos that are on YouTube. So you really should have this book. Most of my subscribers probably have purchased it. You can go to our website at sacramentomusicgroup.com and find all of the materials that I have available. So let's get started. It's going to be a series of probably 10 videos that will help you maybe get some movement in your left hand and also get a little more creative with the melodies later on with your right hand. So you're sitting at your piano looking at this keyboard and you've learned the chords. So now your music is just sounding if you're a beginner, that's quite an accomplishment. And I remember the feeling the first time I played a song. I remember the feeling from my class students and my private students the first time they play a song and they get it together. And a lot of teachers don't remember that feeling of accomplishment when you do something for the first time that takes, quite a bit of coordination. So now that you've gotten that far and you've learned your chords from my chord book and you understand how they work, now it's time to get a little more active on the piano. So we're going to spend 10 lessons working on what do I do with my left hand. There's lots of books out that you can read the bass clef and find out different styles that way, but when I was learning, they didn't really ever put a name to them. So this week we're going to start with a very easy first step. The song we're going to use is Ode to Joy. This will be available as a PDF. It's free on our website, sacramentomusicgroup.com. You can download it, and right now it's kind of in a rough stage. We're in the process of working on our website to convert it over to make it a little more up to date. But right now I just hand wrote it out for this video because I wanted to get started. So this is Ode to Joy. It's one of the very first songs that you learn. It's a 5-finger song. It only goes from C to G. So you can lay your right hand on the keyboard and just play. It's all quarter notes and 2 half notes. So because it's quarter notes, it's going to make it really easy for you to put the accompaniment in with your left hand. Now, if I play this song the way it's written and the way that a beginner would play it with chords, it only has 2 chords, C chord and G chord. Every measure, the chord changes. C chord to G. Now, as a beginner, that's really good. As a teacher, if that was your first or second lesson, I would say, great job. But all of my students say, well, now I want to do something with my hand. So the very first thing we're going to do, and this is kind of like the foundation for all the other styles, you're just going to play a chord on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to make your left hand kind of like your metronome. It's just going to keep a beat, and you're going to play. And what I did on the download sheet, there's a little dot under every note that tells you to play a chord with that note. So your right hand and your left hand are going to be playing at the same time. The right hand will play a melody note, and the left hand will play a chord like this. Now, it's also, if you're playing piano, a good idea to use the damper pedal, which is the pedal on the right. At the beginning of every measure, when you change the chord, lift the pedal up and push it down. Now it'll sound a little more professional. I think it sounds kind of clunky still, but you have to start somewhere. And remember, I'm not a teacher that is expecting you to sound like a master. I'm the kind of teacher that takes it slow and tries to make it very easy for you. So this lesson is really short. Every song you play now, if it's when the saints go marching in, you're just playing a chord for a beat. So if you play now, how you play it will make you sound clunky or not. If you just slam it down, or if you play it lightly and just kind of move your arm like that, you get a really nice background sound. And we're going to go somewhere with this next time. But this time and this week, I want you to take Ode to Joy and just practice. See, nice and light, and try to make it as pleasant to listen to as you can. Because if you can accomplish that by playing a chord like this, all the other lessons that we do are going to sound amazing. So go to sacramentomusicgroup.com and you can download Ode to Joy, and make sure that you have this book. We're going to be referring to it a lot for this series. So it's the First Aid Chord Kit, and it'll give you everything you need to know if you're not accustomed or acquainted with the chords. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our first session. In the next sessions to come, we'll get into more details, and I'm going to stick with one song. We're going to use Ode to Joy for the whole 10-week series. Mainly because if you pick too many songs and you try to get too fancy, you never really get it. And I found this with my experimental student that I had. The more I gave her, the more confused she got. So when we backed up and we just used our left-hand styles with one song, we found that she was able to apply everything she learned with that one song to all the other songs that she attempted to play. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next video.